241! I have just come back from Disneyland Paris and I have spent all of my pennies and I thought I would share with you what it is that I bought, because who doesn't love a Disneyland Paris haul? Let's get on with the show. So of course, first up, you can see it, you know, is the Spirit jersey. Now, these are sort of oversized, somewhere between a long sleeve t-shirt and a jumper, which makes them lovely and snuggly. You can see they've got the emblazoned on the front, and there is also Disneyland Paris written across the back. I will show you that in some magical b-roll footage. Now, these are a beautiful size to be snuggly. I have one of these in purple, the purple potion colour that was really popular about 1.5 years, 2 years ago. But with that one I made a slight mistake because I bought the size that I was, and that means that it fits a little bit too well. With these you kind of want them baggy. So this turns out to be a small size. I did also buy a medium size initially and it was huge on me. So just for an FYI, I'm about a 10 and this is the small, and this fits sort of beautifully baggy. I've got lots and lots of space, but this is probably more comfortable, whereas the medium was huge. So just be aware there's a big difference in size jump every time you go through. This cost $60 to purchase. I got an annual pass discount on it, so I paid a little bit less, but it's one of those things that I think is totally worth it. But I also bought a t-shirt. Now I have this. This is the Disneyland Paris, not logo, that's too strong, but you see this on multiples. This has always been here. As long as I've known Disneyland Paris, they've had this design available, and it comes in this in a jumper and in different colours of both. Now, I really liked this as a grey t-shirt just to be a little bit lighter, quite nice, and this, again, the sizing surprised me. So this is an extra small size and it comes up a little bit big on me. If anything, I'd say maybe it would fit a size 12 comfortably, so just be careful with your sizing, because I was looking into the sort of medium area to see where I'd need to be for like a fitted but slightly baggy t-shirt, and instead I took a gamble on this one, hoping they'd take it back if it was wrong. They do, by the way, I checked, and it fit beautifully. It's a little bit baggy, but that's what I kind of look for in stuff like this. This one cost €25. I again got discount on it and I bought it from the little fashion shop. As a side note, I blatantly like my Disney t-shirts in grey because I grabbed this one accidentally thinking it was the other one off of the clean washing pile, whereas this one has got a little llama on it. I didn't buy it specifically for this, but it is from Disney and it is delightful. Anyway, so the elephant in the room, of course, is the ears. I finally have proper ears again. So I bought rose gold ears on the cruise and I left them on my solo trip in Star Tours. You used to have to take your ears off and put them in the little basket underneath your seat, and I took them off and then I got off and I completely forgot because I was too excited that they marked me as the rebel spy to think of anything else, including my ears. Now, I should have gone to guest relations to get them back. You can do that if ever you do that in Disney, but I don't think I realised / was a bit distracted and the queue was really long and I just thought, oh, it's fine. And I wish I hadn't. I wish I could get these rose gold ears back. But since then, I haven't had proper ears. I have Christmas ears, which have got little reindeers on. They come out on Christmas Day. Forget the Santa hat. I've got those. But finally, these can be now my park ears. So, I love them. They are Disneyland Paris ones specifically, which is the other reason why I was quite inclined to buy them. We've got gold ears, a black band, and the squishy little mini bow as well. Now, just to show you a couple of things with them. So on the side, we have Disneyland Paris in gold, and then is magical. Now, one thing they do that always upsets me with ears is they have a massive long label on them to talk about like their suitability and the usual things you'd find on a label, but they're really long and you either have to wrap them around it or end up with a tag stuck out of your ear. So I have cut mine off, but not particularly successfully, as you'll see, because it's a little bit it could do with some more trimming, but I did that from a hotel room with nail scissors, so you know, ingenuity and commitment to having the perfect ears was there. Look at them. So then we move on to things that are pretty much expected for me to buy. I don't think I've ever been to a Disney park and not bought at least one mug. My mug cupboard is ridiculous, and I fully admit that, but it doesn't stop me. It just slows me down a little bit. What I did do is I got the Starbucks mugs. So these are sort of Disney adjacent. You can pick these up in Disney Village in the Starbucks that's there. They are the You Are Here collection. So what I shouldn't have done was put my coffee in this when I went to make this video. So you can see we've got the Disney Parks one. So this is the main one that spins around beautifully, and ignoring the coffee that is inside, there is blue on the inside. And these are great coffee mugs because they're lovely and thick, so they keep the heat really, really well. I have one of them from Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World, and I was super excited about it, and I was never able to go to Starbucks in Disneyland Paris and have both of them available at the same time. I didn't want to buy one and then not get the other one. However, this time, not so much. So although I'm drinking out of that one, I've yet to open this one. So if I just show you the packaging, this, by the way, I absolutely love. But there's the one for the Walt Disney Studios. Now, this one is orange on the inside, which is great because it's my favourite colour. And as we go round, you've got some of the more popular areas of it as well. So again, these are pretty standard. You can pick these up for most of the parks, if not all the parks, to be honest. But it was nice that I finally got my hands on them. Now they were €20 each. Ouch. Which puts them right at the top end of what I would spend on things like this, but I've wanted them for so long, and I sort of felt like I couldn't not. It had to be something that I bought on this trip, and I did, and I've got both of them, so I'm really pleased. Now the other unsurprising purchase of mine was books, because any chance I can get to learn more about the parks, I will take it, and this time it was the turn of Space Mountain. This is not one of my favourite rides, but definitely one that I want to read about, and this is beautiful. So we've got this textured front cover. This is all gold foil, which is really beautiful. And then the same on the back. Now inside, it gives you sort of pictures talking about how it came about, look how it was created, and it does it in French and in English, so importantly I can still read it without speaking a lick of French. You may recognise this style though, because there are two others. There's one for Phantom Manor and one for Pirates, and whilst I didn't buy those on this trip, they are still available. They look like this, in case you are wondering. So as a set, they make a really, really nice group and are a good, interesting read. Now I picked up the Space Mountain one this time in the art store, which felt like a strange place to find it, but they're beautiful, so perhaps not so strange. It used to be you could pick them up in the Storybook store, but that's now being used as an annual pass holder exclusive. And from memory, I think they're in there, but the only one in there that they had that was notably there and not anywhere else was the 25-year A to Z, which I do also have, but again, didn't buy on this trip, but that looks like this. Now in that Storybook store, they are offering a 20% discount on it, which is sad because I paid €50 for this one. Now those books that I've just shown you, the Phantom Manor, the Pirates of the Caribbean and the Hyperspace Mountain one, are €22. You don't get a discount on those, but that works out to be about 20 quid. So they're not horrendous for what they are, but they are quite expensive as books go. Weirdly, I feel like money works differently in Disneyland Paris. It's perfectly reasonable for me to spend £20 on a book out in Disneyland Paris, whereas here I would balk at spending £20 on a book. But hey, it's the Disney touch, right? There were a few uncharacteristic purchases of mine though, so some of them being pins. I don't tend to buy pins, mostly because I love them and I want to put them on things, but I tend to lose them. But this one is 2021 one, as you can tell. And it just felt like I wanted to mark the occasion that I was there in 2021. We did manage to get back, we did manage to go, regardless of the pandemic. We got away from the UK, we managed to go back home. And so I wanted something to show that as well. It's also got the new Mickey on, and me and my husband love watching the Mickey cartoons, so it felt like it had to be. And the other one I got was this one. This is an Animator's Palette one, and it is obviously Rapunzel. Now, she is quickly becoming my favourite princess, I think. I say I think because I change my mind on this quite regularly, but as this second is Rapunzel, so this seemed to make sense, just as a nice way to mark the week. One thing I will say is that the pin selection was a bit minimal compared to what I would expect from it, in terms of every store had the same stuff and those were the same things repeated through, and there was only maybe sort of 4 spinny things. You know what I mean, if you've seen pins, you know how they're presented. The only exception to that was there were a couple more pins in the Storybook store, which is now the annual pass store, annual pass holder store, which were Stitch ones, new releases, and a couple of Disneyland Paris hotel ones, which is weird because that's been closed for a while and it felt like they were just trying to get rid of stock. But regardless, pin selection wasn't as good as I would have expected, especially considering it was Princess Week, and out of those I ended up buying ones that I know are readily available, but I love them, so it's fine. Then even more uncharacteristically, I bought plushes. They are going out as gifts to babies that are either here or are coming. So the first one is Pluto. Now I searched high and low for this one. I found this on the last trip we did, which was in February of 2020, and I wanted to buy it then, and I thought no, I'm low on money, we're going to be coming back in May, and if we don't come back in May, there's also the trip that we've booked in August, and then we've also got a trip booked in December, so I'll definitely get back and pick it up on one of those trips. It's no issue. And then obviously pandemic, all of those trips were cancelled. I thought I would never get the little Pluto that I wanted to buy, and thankfully I did. So if I just show you, he's got the most beautiful fluffy texture. He's so cute, and he cost €25. He is the softest I could find. There are actually 3 different Pluto plushes you can get because I checked out all of them, and one of them is a super soft texture but not fluffy. It's more flat. Yeah, sure, that. The other one is just a standard plush like you would expect to see in, say, the Disney store, and then the last one is this beautiful pale fluffiness. However, he is not alone because the gifts for other people continue, because these will be for a as yet unborn child. It will be blue or pink and we don't know which to give them, so we bought both, which seems both gender neutral, which I like, and also super cute, and they jingle. So I have a habit of buying Mickey Mouse or Minnie Mouse for children that come into our lives, and this seemed a great way to do it, because they are super child friendly and they're super cute. These little guys were €20 each, so they're not on the cheap side. You can get a really nice Mickey and Minnie from the Shop Disney store for probably about the same price, and they are bigger, but these are fluffier. I will give some advice though, that the Minnie Mouses and Mickey Mouses, like the large scale, the typical ones that you can expect, aren't as nice in Disneyland Paris as they are on the Shop Disney site, so that's just something to consider, but these seem to outweigh them, and I don't know if they're on the Shop Disney site, I haven't looked, but they're beautiful, so I love them. Then finally, the last gift that we have purchased for somebody else, and in this case it is my niece, which is why I'm recording this now, so that I can get it to you guys before we get it to her, is Mulan, and she's a doll, look, and not just because she's adorable, she is actually physically a doll. Now, we went on Princess Week, which I thought would be a bigger deal than it was. I was a little bit disappointed, to be honest. All it meant basically was there was 30% off of princess merchandise in the stores, but merchandise that already existed. There was nothing new there was nothing different, but this was 30% off. Now it was basically pick your princess. They had a whole wall, you could take a look at all of those. They had the same in the plushies, they also had the same in the animator's palette, and they had things like the doll sets and things that you can pick up, as well as costumes. So hopefully she likes it. Now, aside from a couple of other obvious knickknacks, things like getting the bags because you don't want to have to carry it everywhere, and some food, me stealing napkins because they've got Disneyland Paris printed on them. There is nothing else that we purchased, so for me this was a really controlled trip. I did really well. I did want to buy a Christmas ornament, I couldn't find one that I liked enough, and for me the merchandise hadn't changed enough since the last time we went to get loads. But having said that, what we have got I'm really pleased with, and I'm really excited about as well. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Pop in the comments if there's anything here that you would buy, or just anything about Disneyland Paris, questions, thoughts, comments. I just love being able to talk about Disney, so if you comment I get to talk about it with new people, so that sounds great to me. Once again, thank you so much for watching and have a great day.